Alright, here we are back again with some more Zero Tolerance. Now here's the thing. I'm going to pause it real quick. So we ended up on basement level 3.
Yeah.
And then I had the idea of speed running it, because apparently that's how you have to beat the game, right?
Yeah.
So we ran out of ammo, and we realized that you can't kill the enemies.
We just didn't have enough ammo.
Don't have enough ammo, so we got to speed run it. Well, to keep the long story short, turns out I was kind of sort of wrong. Apparently, we went through Rambo style and just wasted a bunch of ammo. Mm-hmm. And we also picked up a bunch of junk that we didn't need. For example, we picked up rocket launchers and we picked up grenades.
Yeah.
And we held on to those.
Just in case we needed them.
Yeah, and the problem is the explosive stuff is pretty much garbage.
Yeah.
Because if you take a grenade and you chuck it down a hall and you try to hide, it don't matter. It's still going to deal damage to you. I don't know why
it does any damage to the enemy.
Yeah. And same thing with the rocket launcher. You shoot that thing, it goes way down, hits a wall, and you still take damage from it. Turns out, on the stages where I thought there was no ammo, they give you a bunch of pulse laser. And I think the pulse laser is really what you use to fight the final boss. So, what I ended up doing is I ended up taking my sweet little time. I even live streamed it over on Twitch, and I just went through each stage by myself, clearing everything out and trying to get all the ammo that I could. And really, that's how you have to play the game. Sneak around every little corner, and each enemy should only take one hit. That's how you have to conserve ammo. You have to be extremely frugal with it. Just one shot per enemy, and that's it. Otherwise, you're going to screw yourself on ammo. So by doing that, I ended up getting through, and we made it all the way back to basement level 12. So here we are at the final boss.
Yep. It says 52 enemies now instead of 99.
Yeah, and that was the thing too, is a lot of times it'll say 99 enemies on a floor, and then you shoot them and it still says 99, 99, 99.
Because you didn't clear out the previous level.
Or
still counting the previous level that you'd never cleared out.
Yeah. Or what'll happen is there's actually like 130 enemies on the level, but there's not enough room to put 130.
Oh, maybe.
Because I think I went through basement level 11 and I killed like 30 or 40 enemies before it started to count down.
Oh, really? That's good.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time. We're going to go through here.
Kill the xenomorphs.
And I'm going to try to kill as many of these insectoids, I call them. I'm going to try to kill as many of these guys as I can.
I'm just going to call them xenomorphs.
So this is how I had to play. You get up here, and then you hold A, and then strafe to the right. Hopefully trigger something, and then get ready to shoot. This time I never did. So come up here, nothing. Go like this. Strafe to the right. Nothing. Now I'm going to turn. Okay. Here we go. Back up a little bit. There we go.
And you hear him. Oh, he went around to the left. Oh, no.
And now I'm going to turn this way. I don't see anything I can pick up. And if I just start running through there, I'm going to trigger like 100 different enemies to come out at me. So that's why I don't want to do that. I don't want to trigger a bunch of them. I'd rather trigger one at a time, like that. Otherwise you start running through there and like every single one of them will come charging you like this. And now I got one right here.
Yeah. One at a time, man. I don't know, I'm also kind of enamored with the simplicity of the levels. I just like square designs. I'm not a big fan of all this really creative havoc. Like, oh no, I can't jump over this barrier because there's a pipe across it. Obviously there's a natural barrier. Qui-Gon Jinn can't climb over a piece of pipe. Yeah, it's just... If it's a wall, make it a wall.
Yeah, and that was one thing I was figuring out in like the live streams. I like rooms that have like the paths. Like if you look at this map, look at the very top and there's a long path.
Yeah.
I like that. What I don't like is what I'm looking at in the middle, where it's open world, but you have partition walls in the way.
Yeah.
Because then I have a hard time of figuring out where I've been exactly.
Well, it's like a paintball course or something, though. So I think it's kind of cool that way.
Yeah, the only problem I have is like, if I go up here, I turn, okay, I triggered there's no enemy. but there might be an enemy right on the other side of the wall. So
True.
I have to go around to try to trigger them.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll get to the end of the level and I'm like, there's 2 enemies left, where are they? Now I have to completely redo the entire level all over again to try to pull out the enemies.
Like that one, it tried to go left around the corner there.
Yeah, and they'll do that stuff where they come out and then they hide on you.
Yeah.
So right now what
I like the realism of it though. It adds another level of I don't know, depth, suspense, whatever.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking too, this would be a cool game to play for like Halloween.
Yeah, it is creepy.
Alright, so we're going to get up
horror
here.
Style.
Keep my back, because apparently if you can't see them, they can't see you. Then we'll turn, trigger them.
I'm trying to make out the alien's face. I can't really see it because it's all kind of pixelated, but I don't know, maybe if there was a manual, maybe it would show an artist rendering about what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, I would love to sit there and look at these bad guys, look at their faces and stuff.
Because it's like, up close he either looks like a xenomorph or one of the creatures from this island Earth with a big dome face with the bug eyes. It's like, I can't really tell, but when he gets up close and he starts to attack you, it looks like parts of his face like flying up into the air.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to bite you, so his face opens up.
Yeah.
But you,
really creepy.
But you can't get a good look at it because they rush the enemies so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't take time with the suspense of the thing coming at you. But something for sure is that the way these creatures appear, they seem to be really, I don't know, alien. Very alien. I know, that's one of those phrases where people are going to be like, duh, Chris, they're aliens. It's like, no, I mean, you see aliens like on Star Trek, they all look like freaking humans. You see aliens on other shows where, yeah, okay, they look like aliens, but they're just bipedal creatures with 2 eyes and a mouth. They still look, you know, relatable. These creatures look a little less relatable, so I kind of like that in an alien.
I'm going to shut this off.
Oh yeah, it's probably messing with their audio, huh? Whoa, it's apparently messing with the game too. See that glitch?
Yeah, to me they look like insect creatures.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you can't see their eyes. Parts of their face are flying up. It's like they have a 2-part face. And it flies up to open to eat you. It's just...
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they put a lot of cool... I don't know how to explain it. A lot of cool character design. And a lot of cool graphics, I guess. Is that what you call it? Where there's like animation.
Yeah.
All sorts of crazy animation. Like you kill a spider, it flips upside down and it'll start twitching its legs. And then you can go through and shoot it and blow it up even more and its guts and stuff come out.
Yeah, you can shoot the walls and they burst into glowing veins and things.
So they put all this cool animation and cool design into the game, but then they make the pace like really fast paced. The enemies come charging out at you and you can't like enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
there's no part where you're like, whoa, what's that? You know, I mean, we've done that a couple times while playing this, but it's still, there's this weird suspense where we're like, it's anticlimactic, because they rush you and you never get to find out what's that. You kill it all before you ever get to see it.
Yeah, it's like the plant creature thing.
Yeah, like
the big...
flying around like a...
Yeah, the ones that have the gun, that's how you get the laser aimed gun.
Yeah.
This thing.
Oh, yeah.
You get them off those creatures.
Guys. Yeah, there's another one that's flying around. It looks like a praying mantis or something.
Yeah, they come out super fast and you don't get a chance to really look at them.
But the other green guys that carry the gun, yeah, I forgot about them.
Yeah, and that guy's going to hide around the corner.
There is a nice collection of enemies in this, though. It's like, and they don't keep recurring over and over again. They mix it up. I like that. There's a gun to the left of that pillar to your left. Oh, where the... no. You probably reveal those enemies. Oh, they're coming at you now. And, oh, it's not a gun, it's health. Well, you don't want to waste the health, I guess.
Yeah,
just remember the top corner, just in front of the corner section there's a health.
Yeah, there's a couple spots where there are health. And right here, I don't care about wasting shotgun ammo because I want to use the flamethrower and the pulse laser.
Flamethrower, eh? I never found it to be that useful except for against the insects, the crawling ones.
Yeah, that was a trick you would do like in the earlier stages, is equip the flamethrower.
Look out to your left.
Then you just like run through the stages really quick, making all the enemies come after you.
Oh yeah, and then you torch them.
Yeah, then you get them like trapped in a corner, like 15 or 30 of them.
Bottleneck them.
And then you turn around and you just open the torch up. And you only use like 1 or 2 shots and you'll just annihilate them all. So that's a good way of like killing like 30 enemies and hardly wasting any ammo.
Yeah. There's something about this that's very 90s action movie though. 90s action sci-fi. The style.
It looked like a bulletproof vest. And it's one of those things, if worse comes to worse, I can always backtrack to the previous basement level and grab stuff if need be. I don't think I have to. Alright. So here's what I'm going to do. Now we should be at the final boss. I ended up playing through and beating it on the live stream, and it was kind of a pain. Because what happened is the boss and the enemies like to get behind you. They'll rush you, and it's like they run through you and get to your back and start trying to deal damage.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I'm going to equip this.
6 shots.
And I'm going to try to just trigger some enemies to come out. Because there's 12 bad guys left, 11 minions, because I'm assuming the main villain counts as one as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to equip this and start blasting him, and hopefully it works. The game likes to lag, though.
Oh, does it?
I'll start shooting, it'll start lagging, and I'll be hitting the B button to shoot, and he just won't shoot.
And you're on a Model 2. This shouldn't really be happening.
Alright, here he comes. See, and right away he's like getting behind me.
Yeah.
And I'm holding back, too, which irritates me.
You're out.
See, I switched to pulse laser, and he wouldn't switch.
I have a dead aim on his thorax there.
Alright, he went down, but he'll get back up.
He gets down,
There we go.
He gets up again. Yeah, we're gonna keep him down.
And there we go,
That's
we beat
awesome.
the game.
Does that thing have like a gun nose?
Looks like it's got a gun
like
shoved in
smoking-
its head.
See, that's the crazy
You've
thing.
done it. You have defeated the alien forces against all odds. The people of our home world commend you, and the Planet Defense Corps would like to extend to you their highest commendation. Our citizens are once again safe from the hostile enemy aliens whose attempts to invade and destroy our world have been foiled. You look tired. Goofy. And he's holding the shotgun.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's not really.
So check this out. Credits. Okay, let's see who made the game. Well, Technopop Incorporated. Producer, Randall Rice. Okay. Assistant, Desmond Crisis. Who's that? Thomas Europe. Scott Hale.
That's the
Justin
characters.
Wolf.
That's awesome.
So this game, it's almost like, it seems like it's an independent game.
Yeah,
Like
they-
the programmers actually put themselves in the game.
Put their own names in there.
Tony Romos. I don't know if Satoy is in there.
Yeah.
Oh, there are
Sato.
additional supports.
Yeah, there's
Satoy
Sato Ishii.
Yeah, the game, it seems like there's a big giant story with it. Like you get this awesome story, these awesome characters, Planet Defense Corps, you get all this crazy stuff, and then when you play the game, you don't really get much of it.
Yeah.
You get to see the enemies, but they're always right in your face. And they're always attacking you, and you have to hurry up and kill them. And you don't really have a chance to like sit there and look at the enemies.
Yeah.
I guess that's like the difference between, if they were to remake this game now, there would be cutscenes.
Yeah.
With like all these crazy creatures and everything.
It's true. Or some slow reveals like they did. Well, I guess it was a cutscene in Resident Evil, but.
I found out something else too. We're not gonna play through it, but apparently there's a cheat code for doing a secret stage.
Really?
If I can figure it out, let me see here. Unless it's a hack that somebody did. There we go.
Okay.
Which one does the combat?
Yeah,
hand-to-hand combat. There we
Of
go.
course, the guy with the glasses.
So now we're on the roof. Here he comes.
On the roof with the final bad guy.
Yeah, you box the final boss. I don't know if he can be defeated. I have no idea. Because he keeps turning and spinning and getting around the back of you.
That's cool though.
I'm gonna try something.
This game, I love this game. It's just like, I don't know, say what you will about Doom. I'm sure it's a cool game too. I just like all the nuances of this game.
So yeah, like I said, I don't know if you can beat him or not, but
Yeah. It does have kind of an indie feel, this game. I love it. I like that. It's just really the simplicity of it and still the detail that went into the story and all the artwork and design. It's pretty cool.
all right. So that was Zero Tolerance on the good old Sega Genesis, and that's your game.
Thank you.
So what'd you think of it?
I love it. You know, it looked awesome before I bought it, and I was not disappointed. It's sweet.
Yeah, I definitely liked the game. I thought it was fun. It does have some quirky stuff in there, but like I said, I think it's awesome. Even though a lot of people will be like, "Oh, it's a Doom clone. It's a Doom clone." It's like, well, back in the day, what else were you going to play on the Genesis?
Yeah, right.
You know, unless you got like the 32X or something.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, you could say that with any first-person
Yeah.
shooter.
It's no more of a Doom clone than Predator is an Alien clone. I mean, it's in the same genre, it does the same thing. Yeah, it's a competitor, but it's not a clone, I think. I think, you know, it uses the same motifs, the same, what do you call it, conventions in order to relay the story, but the story's different. And the nuances are different. The gameplay's a little different, too. So, you know, you're rotating through characters, they have specialties. You have a whole bunch of different characters, enemies that you're fighting through. They're really nuanced and the kind of characters. I really wish that they had put more of that into the game, though. Like they apparently spent a lot of time designing these characters, and those elements, those aspects of the characters, I'm talking about the enemies, never really came into play in the game. You didn't discover all that. So, I mean, that's part of a hallmark of a good show, is that the producers have thought through it more deeply than they can ever express in the production. I mean, that's just, it goes without saying. If you say everything that you're thinking, it's a little too hitting the nail on the head, if you will. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you have to have some mystery, but we want to hear more about these characters. There's a lot that didn't get into this game. But I really like the, yeah, like I said, the how many characters there were, how much the diversity of the opponents, the levels, the storyline shifts from you're not just on a space station the entire time. You finally get back to Earth, and then you find out that they've invaded. Yeah. There's a little nuance in the storyline, so I kind of like it. You know. Yeah,
like I said, like
it's good.
I don't know if we don't have the manual, but I don't know. I'm assuming the manual would explain more story. But like I said, it seems like there is a lot of story with the game.
Yeah.
You just don't really get much of it in the actual game. You have all these different characters. One of them is like a bad guy, in a sense. Like, he's kind of a jerk and he acts up. Each character has their own thing. One is a medical dude. One is like good with hand-to-hand combat.
You're marksman.
Yeah, the other one's a marksman. So you can like utilize each of these characters.
Markswoman, I'm sorry.
Yeah, got to be PC. And you can even play two-player. You have to have two Genesis consoles, two TVs, two of the same game, and then you could even see the character.
Yeah.
Too, and stuff like that, and the different enemies and everything.
Yeah.
So the story and everything seems like it'd be awesome.
Yeah. But
you don't really get much of it in the game. It's just like I don't know if it's the right word, but it's almost like a popcorn flick, where you just kind of go in there and just go and shoot the enemies.
Yeah.
But like I said, I liked the game. I thought it was fun. The only problem I had was like you have to almost play the game once to figure out what works and what doesn't, and then replay it again.
Well, in that regard, it's like it's a bigger game than just what's on the game. You know, that's what I kind of like about games is the replay value.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we figured out what we've done wrong. Let's start over from the beginning and try it right, and then you can start it over and do it multiple different ways.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they actually put a password in there.
Yeah.
You beat the level,
Thank
you get a
goodness.
password.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we went through and played it, and we started going Rambo style, just shooting everything up,
Yeah.
completely wasting our ammo.
Yeah.
And then when we got to the later levels, we're like, well, what do we do? Because now we're completely out of ammo.
Yeah.
And that's really the main thing that I said that bothered me, because we got so far, and now I'm like, well, I have to start all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I had to start over and really take my time and be frugal.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
I guess if you do that right away at the beginning, really take your time
You live, you learn.
instead of just rushing through the game.
Yeah.
And that's how I've been trying to play games lately anyways, taking my time, smell the roses, relax and explore.
It's fun. Yeah, for sure. This seems like a game that would be really good to just sit down, you know, grab a popcorn and a beverage and just sit there and just like get really into it. I did sometimes when I was practicing this. I would just get into the game.
What I would really love to see, because everyone's obsessed with doing this now, the PS4. They went and they re-released, what is it, Night Trap on the PS4.
Yeah.
They also put Corpse Killer on the PS4. And they're taking some of these older games, remastering them, making them look a little bit better. The same game, but cleaning up the fuzz and putting them on PS4. I would love to see this game go on PS4.
Yeah.
The same game, don't remake it, don't be stupid, you put the same game on there.
Yeah.
But now you can go online and get like however many characters are on there, get like 6 people, and all 6 of you get into a stage and play.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And go through and do it that way.
Yeah.
And then you can save it like...
I kind of would not like them to do that because, I mean, I would, like, what you're saying would be cool, but if, as soon as they initiate it, they're going to do what you, like you say, they're going to do a remake.
Yeah, they're going to
start
remake the
redoing
game.
all the graphics, they're going to start rearranging levels and changing the gameplay. It's like, well, we need to keep up with modern gameplay, so we need to change it. And it's like, don't mess with it.
Yeah, so like I said, I really liked the game a lot, but it did have a few quirky things. A little bit of the glitching. Like, I'll be sitting there playing, a bunch of enemies come, I sit there and hit the shoot button, and all of a sudden they just won't shoot. He just sits there, bam, and then you take damage and you get hit.
Yeah, the higher graphics levels lag out the machine a little. You know what's amazing, though, is that they were able to keep up that level of graphics and depth on a Sega Genesis, and then you compare that to something like Jurassic Park, where you can't even do a side-scroller because, oh no, the dinosaur is animated and there's a waterfall. Can't handle walking now.
Yeah.
and then they ended up doing a 3D first-person shooter that's on the same console, just proving that it's not the kind of equipment you have, it's the way it's being utilized.
Yeah. Yeah, and another thing, too, about some of the weapons in the game that irritated me was any of the explosive weapons. The grenades, the rocket launcher, and the mines were almost like completely worthless unless you become a zero-tolerance god and actually know how to use them.
Yeah.
Like I said, it would get to where I'd pick up a grenade, and I'd be like, okay, I have a grenade now, let's go down this hallway, chuck it, now hurry up and run all as far away as you can. And then you still might take damage.
Half the time you can't because you're in close quarters.
Yeah.
You're either stuck inside a building somewhere with tight quarters, or you're stuck on you're on a spaceship, so there's just nowhere to run.
Yeah. So, like, utilizing some of the weapons, it was like I found myself just picking stuff up by mistake, and you can't drop them either. You can't be like, nope, drop that. You have to use it.
Yeah.
Or picking up stupid stuff like the flashlight or the goggles.
Oh, the goggles, like, if you're not on that one level, there's one level where you use the goggles and there's smoke everywhere.
Yeah.
That's where you need them. But if you pick up the goggles anywhere else, it's just a complete waste, and you're stuck using them until they run out.
Yeah.
I just hate that.
Alright, now as far as the amount of time it took to play the game, I honestly don't know. Because we've been back and forth.
That's true.
We started this game like 2 years ago. And we played and we got to a point and it was like, well, we're stuck. Well, things come up. Let's take a break. And we literally took like a 2-year break before coming back to this game.
It was 2016 when we started.
And so, I don't know how long it takes. I know you can speed run the game and be done with it in like 20 minutes. but I think it's going to be kind of like, I don't think it's going to be as long as Turok,
Yeah.
but I think it's like you could probably get a good 15 to 20 hours in if
Yeah.
you take your time on each stage. In each stage, at least the later ones take like about an hour to beat.
Yeah. It's like any good game, even modern games. I mean, like, how long does it take to beat Fallout 3 or something, you know? You could go through and kill everything and beat the game in a few hours, or you can take your time and actually explore the game and get more out of it.
Yeah.
And you can spend your entire life in there, you know?
Yeah, so I think if you sit down, relax, and play the
value.
game, you could get a good 20 hours of gameplay out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, as far as the price goes for the game, loose, it sells for about $9.20. So between like $9 and $10. Complete, it's about $20. Do you think the gameplay is worth cart only $10?
You know, I hate saying that because it drives up the price of games.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you drive up the price of games, you keep it out of the hands of people who just want to collect it and stick it on their shelf and never play it, and who don't actually value it, or just throw it into a closet somewhere and let it rot. So yeah, I think I'm gonna value this game a little higher because I would spend more money. No, I would. I would spend $10 on the cartridge. I would spend $20 on the full box.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, like how I feel. So let's just say, fine, screw it, complete. Would I pay $20? Because I have the experience now with the game and I know how it is. Like, I think, to me, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It seems like it's an independent game. You get the manual, I'm assuming there's story with it, and you get, like, a lot of story, and you can really take your time.
Yeah.
To me, personally, paying $20 for it, it's worth it, but it's like you're also pushing it. I really wouldn't pay any more because of what the game actually is. It's like, it's good and it's fun, but at the same time, it's all the same.
True.
When you get to the basement levels, it's just this big open world with a bunch of partition walls in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to go through, and it's like, I enjoy playing it, but I can only enjoy playing like one level at a time. Like when I would live stream it, I'd take my time and go through one level and be like, okay, I'm done. So it's worth it to me in that sense, where if I take my time, if I tried to just marathon it, like, I'd be irritated with the game.
Yeah.
That's when I would start getting angry and getting mad, but when you take your time with it. So for me personally, I think it'd be worth it to find it, but don't overpay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know, maybe I'm blowing out of proportion, like, how valuable this game might be, you know, because maybe I'm the only person who actually appreciates this game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't want to overvalue the game. Like, you don't want to put a big nostalgic price on it.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, it's so great, it's amazing, it's worth.
Yeah.
You don't want to pull, I like the channel and I like the dudes,
Yeah.
but you don't want to pull a game sack. Where they pick a game and they're like, oh, it's $1,000, it's a shoot 'em up. It's good, so I think it's worth it. $1,000 for like a shoot 'em up on the Neo Geo.
No.
All of a sudden, it's worth.
Because they said so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like we could say this could be like our favorite game on the Sega Genesis, so we could be like, oh yeah, it's $1,000. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, you can make one video and be able to pay for that game. Sure, yeah, it's worth it to me. I make one video and make $1,000, $2,000, and I'll pay that. Whatever.
Alright, so that about wraps it up. So like I said, 0 tolerance on the Sega Genesis. I like it, and I recommend going and picking it up. So with that being said, we're going to take off. So whatever. I'm Janitor Jake.
I'm Chris K.
And we'll see you guys next time.